everybody, Zeidoktor here, and this episode of Typical Manga Review is focused on One Piece, chapter 862, The Intelligent Type. This is another one of those titles that's translated differently depending on who you ask, so not sure what we'll get here. I think manga's name was The Consummate Thinker. Anyway, our cover is actually on the Oro Jackson. It's a young Shanks and Buggy playing Hanafuda, with Rayleigh and Roger kind of just in the background. In the present, Luffy is getting slapped silly by Jinbei, who's trying desperately to wake him up. Like, the ceremony's already started. We gotta get up. We gotta get going. But now he points out it's because he ran around the whole forest, and at this point the only thing that's gonna wake him up will be food. At which point Chopper starts demanding meat. Meanwhile, at the ceremony, we see Sanji and Pudding together. Like, on the right we see Pudding's real thoughts, like, this song will be your requiem, Sanji. Oh, Sanji, I'm so happy. Oh, Pudding, I feel the same way. And then in Pudding, Sanji's thoughts, like, no, don't, come back. You will be killed if you spaced out. Come back. He's in love cook mode and he cannot break out of it. The idiot. Meanwhile, all the cooks are having a little song and dance number, which I am not going to try to read because I cannot handle song lyrics and text in any form. So, sorry. But at this point, the wedding cake pops out of the ground and it is gigantic. And the very top of it, and Big Mom is just drooling over it. Yep. She wants to eat it already, but it's also going to be, but she can't because it's going to be the stage for the wedding. And like, there's another little Pudding moment, Sanji Pudding moment, but even though Sanji's like being all complimentary, Pudding's still like, oh, just die already. Everyone's like marveling over the happy couple. Like, so she's like, she's so pretty. It's like, look at myself in the past. How many one of the mobster guys, like, how many decades ago was that, huh? You have a death wish? Oh, that hurts. I think she kicks him right there. Enjoy yourselves as much as you can, my dear guests. The incident will be over in a flash. Now let's begin the slaughter show. Sorry, but I'll have you all disappear here, Vinsmoke family. Meanwhile, the Vinsmokes are being seated. Yonji's think, look, Sanji's lucky to get her such a beauty. I could have married her too, and be Big Mom's daughter. Don't be stupid. He's a sacrifice. Don't forget that. You get married, you'll be controlled by Big Mom your whole life. Meanwhile, Rage is noting that they're being surrounded by the siblings of the Sarlet family, and they don't even have weapons on them. It's over for us. That's fine. Jerem is a country that does not need to exist. But Sanji, you have to escape. You have a plan, don't you? I can believe you, right, Luffy? And then we have Sanji and Pudding in front of the priest. They're doing the vows, till death do you part, etc., etc. Luffy and Co are pretty much like charging at full speed, like, hurry up guys, no time. We're late because you wouldn't wake up. He's got meat in his mouth, so he obviously has eaten. And do you vow to love and remain faithful no matter what, etc.? But at this point, Joseph Joestar, Katakuri, sees a vision of Pudding falling to the ground weeping. That's making him wonder, what's going on? Why are you the one falling down? Now let's lift the veil and perform the kiss of the oath, which I guess in this case means that they're not probably married till they do the actual kiss. So whatever. Which is a question that came up in discussions. But at this point, Capone's realizing that he saw that Katakuri has seen something. Sanji's going to lift the veil. Yeah, look closely, Sanji, at this detestable third eye. Sanji gets a good long look at it, and his only response is, what a beautiful eye. Which actually gets Pudding responding, like, with crying. It's like, from all three eyes, and even she seems to be confused by this. So sorry, after seeing it up close, I was just captivated. At which point Big Mom's wondering what's going on up there because Pudding's being too slow. And we see Pudding like thinking about what Sanji is saying, like, don't screw with me. Ever since I was born, not even once did anyone say my third eye was beautiful. Big Mom's wondering why Pudding's not just gonna shoot. Meanwhile, in flashbacks we're seeing like Big Mom was like, even though you're my child, that eye is creepy. Grow your bangs out, will ya? Other ones are calling her a monster or disgusting. Other kids are bullying her. She's desperately crying for them to stop it, but at which point, it's like, she decides, you know what, fuck this, and she actually grabs a knife and starts fighting back. And we see her thing like, as if I keep quiet and let you mock me, every single one of you, I'll make you disappear. And at which point, Pudding like, pretty much just blows the whole thing. Like, don't screw with me. You're going to be killed by me. Because she's a hideous three-eyed monster. Like, Montd'Or is like, what happened to the plan, Pudding? At this point, Big Mom realizes that part's no good, so she tells the priest to do it. So the priest is getting ready to attack, but Katakuri is seeing that it's no good because he'll dodge. So instead, he jelly beans at him. But in the process, Sanji does dodge that, and the gun goes off, which Katakuri apparently didn't see coming either. Like, that's Sanji glaring at Katakuri. And there's the gunshot signal. So, okay, I'll make it in time. Which way they're realizing that the priest fired, but actually wasn't. No, he was shot. Why? What's happening? And then Katakuri jumps in front of Big Mom. What's the matter? What happened to Pudding? Now's not that. Don't worry about her. This is an unforeseen situation, Mama. Even I can't move carelessly. Meanwhile, all the other things, I don't know if they're homies or children, but like, what happened? Sanji didn't get hit. Do we continue? And then we also hear Brule's like, I'm sorry, Mama. I couldn't do anything other than obey them. At which point Katakuri is realizing there is no way to stop this. What's coming? Let's go. We're taking Sanji back. At what? And then what? Something weird is happening to the wedding cake. And Big Mom was like, just looking shocked. And all of a sudden, the wedding cake explodes with numerous Luffys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, at least 12 Luffys that I can see right offhand. Some of them taking bites out of the cake while they charge. And the cake is just toppling over now. Everyone's shocked, and Big Mom's just like going almost full Enero here. And that is where the chapter ends. I'm not sure how to feel about this chapter because like Sanji's getting a lot of flack for his less partly Sanji but also partly Pudding are getting a lot of flack on discussions because of all this. Like to me, it's like a rehash of Viola. Is what it is. Like this whole Viola has the advantage of not having been evil in the first place, but still, like we have this character who is a flunky of the bad guy, but then a few sweet words from Sanji, they come right back. So I'm not quite sure what to think about that, but there we are. At the very least, like I said, that part's done. The chaotic climax is now officially underway, and Luffy just busts out that cake. Like, I think a lot of people, including the One Piece podcast, were assuming the cake was doomed just because of the whole thing. I wonder if anybody expected it to happen quite this soon. So we'll see about that. One thing I think I saw notes somewhere was how apparently Big Mom was calling Pudding's eye disgusting, but at the same time she's also kind of obsessed with it. There's a poster that kind of put things up pretty well. Let's see, here we go. Yeah, it was like I think it was like an Arlong Park. If I'm looking at, yeah, it's an Arlong Park form. I don't know where in the. Anyway, an Arlong Park post like Big Mom telling Pudding to cover her third eye makes perfect sense. The Big Mom children are tools first and foremost. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. And the tool called Pudding has the job of being a femme fatale with acting and memory altering skills. Big Mom has no personal issues with the eye. I mean, she really doesn't seem to, but it's definitely an issue with like playing her part. Man, the hotline settings bullying Pudding, like that's just real life right there. So there's like a certain logical sense to this, but at the same time, like I said, to me, it's like rehashing Viola probably doesn't make Sanji look good because he's basically in love cook mode rather than. I would have liked this a lot more if had it been a deliberate ploy by Sanji. That's the thing that probably gets me the most. This is just Sanji being Sanji and things working out, which is less satisfying. So I'm not particularly thrilled with this chapter, though I do like the climax of Luffy just breaking out of the cake, and I cannot wait to see the big old immediate aftermath of that. Oh, that's going to be promising. I tell you that much right now. Let's see here. Trying to. Is there anything else here to bring up? I'm trying to just kind of doing this on Easter Sunday, so I'm just trying to get things done quickly here. So I'm sorry if I'm a little too brief. It does look like Katakuri's powers are a lot like Night Eyes in Hero Academia. Like he can see things, but he doesn't necessarily know what he's seeing. Like he sees putting on the ground crying, but doesn't necessarily have any indication of why that is, for example. He just knows something's about to go wrong. And then he realizes that something big is about to happen and he can't do a damn thing about it. And we do see how Pudding pretty much went evil to pretty much fight back against the teasing on there, against her third eye. So nobody would dare actually attack her. Kind of makes me wonder when she got her devil fruit. Like, and now I have another thought of: does Big Mom choose her big devil fruits for her children specifically, or do they wind up with them accidentally like others have, or what? And I can tell you, Big Mom probably didn't do anything about dissuading her stabby skills, going by how she treated Anana, wanted to stab people. Now I wonder what Anana has, come to think of it. But at this point, like this is like a pretty good move along, quick, get everything going chapter. So, I think a lot of the big points here, like I said, the one thing I didn't cover was the song because I hate song lyrics and text. I cannot stand them ever since Tom Bombadil. I just cannot do it. I can't. So I'm skipping that part. Nothing wrong with the lyrics, I'm sure. Just not my thing. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and call the review quickly here. Like I said, just doing this on Easter Sunday, just kind of getting things done quickly because I don't want to miss a week and leave anybody who might actually be paying attention hanging. So that has been the typical manga review of One Piece chapter. What was that number again? Chapter 862, the intelligent type / the consummate thinker / whatever Viz ends up doing. Until next week, have a good time, and I'll see you then.